The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you by Flow.
Tonight, Governor General Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack has reportedly resigned from his post. Prime Minister Philip JP announces a number of initiatives planned for the near future. And the public reacts to the news of the discontinuation of school facility fees. The details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Tuesday, the 3rd of August, 2021. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. His Excellency Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack has reportedly resigned from his post as Governor General of St. Lucia. The news was confirmed to the Hot 7 TV newsroom by credible sources. Our sources say that the Governor General resigned shortly after the swearing in of the new Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre on the 28th of July. Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, who was appointed by former Prime Minister Alan Chastanet, took the oath of office at an installation ceremony on the 12th of January 2018. Due to a rocky history between Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack and the St. Lucia Labour Party stemming from the 1987 win of the Labrie seat for the SLP, when Snack then crossed the floor over to the United Workers' Party, citing broken promises on the part of the SLP, his appointment has been opposed by the SLP. Whilst in opposition, the St. Lucia Labour Party made it clear that all was not forgiven by being noticeably absent during throne speeches by the Governor General. In other news, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has promised to reinstate government subvention to the St. Lucia National Trust as part of his Emancipation Day address. This was one of a number of other initiatives mentioned in the pipeline for the new St. Lucia Labour Party administration. Nisha Charles tells us more.
The preservation of St. Lucia's patrimony was the highlight of Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre's Emancipation Day address, as the country joined other Caribbean nations in commemorating the end of slavery in the British Empire. The Prime Minister's first order of business was to reinstate government subvention to the St. Lucia National Trust, a subvention that was cut by the previous Alan Chastanet-led administration. For the Prime Minister, the occasion was a reminder of the need to fight against attitudes that belittle St. Lucia's patrimony and cultural heritage.
The government of St. Lucia will always support the preservation of our heritage and the importance of sustainable use of the environment. In this regard, the government of St. Lucia will immediately reinstate the government subvention to the St. Lucia National Trust. Our government will also lend full support to the Caribbean Reparation Commission in its efforts to obtain reparation justice from our former European colonial powers. The commemoration of emancipation will not, however, be confined to giving greater recognition to the 1st August. It has to be a continuous process of continuous education, and so this government will take steps to ensure that the African, Caribbean, and St. Lucian history is taught at all levels of our schools.
Pierre plans to make Emancipation Day a major event on the national calendar.
Our self-esteem, our dignity, our respect for the lives and struggles of our forefathers demand this of us. For while slavery was abolished in St. Lucia and other British territories 183 years ago, the mindset and racial attitudes that brought African people to the Caribbean and the Americas as slaves still lingers. In recent times, we have graphically witnessed in the USA the unwarranted killing of the African-American George Floyd in Minnesota last year, and that of our own Beaufort Jean the year before in Texas, and that of so many other African-Americans. These events have shocked the consciousness of the entire world, resulting in a universal cry for racial equality, human rights, and justice for all.
Prime Minister Pierre said that this commemoration reaffirms the need to power the development of St. Lucia through education, commitment, discipline, and determination to succeed. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Prime Minister Philip JPS says that his administration recognizes that parents require support, particularly during these difficult economic times. Therefore, the Prime Minister has pledged that the government will pay school facility fees this academic year. The proclamation made by the Prime Minister has left members of the public seeking validation.
Prime Minister Philip JPS is pledging that the government will be paying school facility fees come this academic year, 2021 to 2022. So today, Hot 7 takes to the streets to get your reactions to the Prime Minister's promise to pay facility fees.
I don't believe that because that's a gimmick. I don't believe that. Yeah, we all have to work hard to pay our bills, so I don't believe that. It can happen, but I don't believe that.
Well, that's a very good thing that Prime Minister do it, and I think that Prime Minister, we will see a great change in our country. Great change.
Agree to what he said. That's a very good thing. He said that he will pay the fees for the children. It's very good and that's very nice. I hope he keep it up and promise the children that he will do it. I agree to you, Mr. Prime Minister. That's very nice of you and hoping we keep our promises.
That is a very good thing to alleviate the burdens on parents. Because when it comes to like educational supplies and books and stuff, because sometimes we don't even receive all in the bursary. It's really hard, so I give thanks. I mean, they're very thankful for that promise.
It's an excellent idea. Right now, we're in the COVID era, and most persons have lost their jobs, so it will be an ease on parents, especially those who have more than one child. So I think kudos to the Prime Minister.
Personally, up to this morning, I was thinking about it. Well, they didn't say when, they said within the 5 years. So I'm not too sure. I hope people are not confused thinking it's going to be this year. If it's this year, it's good. But my only concern is that facility fees are there to help the schools to do the miscellaneous things, because sometimes whatever subvention or contribution they get from government or supplies, it's not always sufficient to meet the needs of the children at the schools. And they use those monies to do things like that, to buy things that they would normally get. So I hope that the budget will include some more contribution to the various schools so that they'll meet that deficit. Because definitely I don't think it will be good for the schools, but if it's good for the parents, and if they can, just, as I said, the schools can get their help, well, I have no problem with that.
Yes, because I just come from the bank and pay $351.25. So I don't know why they're asking so much money for these fees. Yeah. So I'm looking forward for that. I will be more than happy. And if you don't pay it, you will not get a book list, nothing. So I would be happy about that.
Like I say, I'm not sure going to school, but my friend has a son going to school. He just probably pay the school fees. And if at the school, the receipt, you're going to get the book list. So I'm looking forward to see what the government says. I hope they do it for the people, give them money that they can get an ease, because some of them not even working, and the money will help them to buy the trend book, their school books. So I'm looking forward in that, because it's so hard. Some parents not even working, and they have to pay that before they get the book list. So I'm looking forward to see the government pay the money so that people can get their book list.
Just give them the time, they'll do what they have to do. And they have to do it. The Prime Minister will do it. I believe in it.
I think it's a very great idea, because for years now I've been paying facility fees for my kids. And I think it will be better for parents, because there are a lot of parents that cannot afford to pay facility fees. So I find it is very well for the Prime Minister to do that.
Since parents are paying for facilities again for school, this is a very great idea, because they have a lot of poor people, parents, that can't afford to send their children to school. Well, if you come up with that, it's very great for the nation.
Yes, the Prime Minister said that he's going to pay all facility fees. Well, we're going to hold him to that he keep his word and to help the people that cannot afford, and to pay it. If he don't, we're going to watch him and, yes.
Well, there you have it. Reporting for Hot 7 TV Nightly News, I am Karim Nelson.
The Office of the Prime Minister has announced a change to plans made to name the appointed Cabinet of Ministers later this week. Press Secretary to the Prime Minister, Mondi Lewis, has the details.
The Honorable Philip JPS, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, has been in consultations as he prepares to appoint the Cabinet of Ministers. These discussions signal Honorable Pierre's regard for consultation and inclusion on matters of state. The announcement of the Cabinet of Ministers will take place at a swearing-in ceremony on Thursday, 5th August 2021 at 4 p.m. The ceremony will be hosted at the House of Parliament on Laborie Street, a departure from the announcement of Mindo Phillip Park. This was necessary to mitigate against any possible spike in COVID-19 and to redirect finances to assist parents with back-to-school expenses. LED screens will be placed in strategic positions to allow for participation of the public. To date, the Prime Minister has assumed responsibility for the ministerial portfolios of finance, economic development, and the youth economy. 2 appointments have also been made in the persons of Honorable Leslie Mondesi, who serves as Attorney General, and Mondi A.L. Lewis, who serves as Press Secretary to the Prime Minister.
That was the Press Secretary to the Prime Minister, Mondi Lewis. The St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association is promising to work closely with the new government in providing quality health care for all St. Lucians. The president of the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association, Dr. Merle Clark, made the comments as she congratulated Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre on his new role.
As the new government prepares to outline its plans for the next 5 years, the St. Lucia Medical and Dental Association is throwing its support behind government and expressing its commitment to helping deliver affordable and accessible health care to all St. Lucians. Healthcare has been a hot topic for years, with governments promising universal health care, or as in the last administration, a health insurance scheme. For the SLMDA President Dr. Merle Clark, regardless of what it is being called, healthcare will remain a priority for the organization.
We, of course, as servants of the public, affirm our commitment to working with this administration, as we did with the previous administration, to guarantee quality, affordable, equitable healthcare for all, no matter what we call it, be it universal healthcare, national health insurance. That is the goal that every St. Lucian must have. Healthcare, of course, is the right of every citizen of this country and certainly not a privilege of few.
Dr. Clark says the management of COVID-19 remains one of the greatest challenges for the SLMDA and St. Lucia by extension.
We continue to work with the Ministry of Health to come up with ways of ensuring that St. Lucians understand the importance of vaccination. We are seeing a steady rise in the number of cases of COVID-19, and based on data globally, we know that vaccination is our best way out of this pandemic. We see numbers rising in places with low vaccination rates, and of course, numbers falling in jurisdictions with high vaccination rates. We understand that there's still a lot of hesitation as it pertains to vaccines, but what is unquestionable is that all the vaccines have been shown to prevent serious illness, hospitalization, and death. So we urge our fellow St. Lucians to get vaccinated.
The association looks forward to the appointment of the minister responsible for health and to work closely with the individual. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. Still to come, police arrest a group of 5 in a Choiseul search operation. The weekend's operations from the St. Lucia Fire Service and the leader of the National Green Party calls on the new administration to bring an end to an ongoing court case. That and more after the break.
The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News was brought to you by Flow.